So one last example on how to find relative extrema. And this one involves a cube root. So we'll start looking at the function. There's no asymptotes because there's no denominator to that function. So we'll just take the derivative to find the critical numbers. So the derivative of this function, you have to use the chain rule. So take the outside, go to the outside, leave the inside alone. And now times the derivative of the inside, which is 2x. So our derivative, our simplified derivative, will look like this. 2x over 3 times x squared minus 9 to the 2/3. So the critical numbers are where the derivative is 0 or undefined. So this derivative will be undefined where the bottom is 0 and it equals 0 where the top is 0. So the critical numbers for this function are x equals 0. That's where the top equals 0. And the bottom equals 0 when x squared minus 9 equals 0. And that gives you x equals plus or minus 3. So those are our three critical numbers. And as usual, we are going to set up a table. The critical numbers go from -3 to 0 to 3, giving us these intervals: -infinity to -3, -3 to 0, 0 to 3, and 3 to infinity. So we're going to plug a test number into our derivative, one in each interval. Let's use the derivative at -4 for this interval, the derivative at -1 for this, derivative at 1 for this, and the derivative at 10 for this. So our derivative, you plug -4 into that, you will get a negative on the top, and -4 squared minus 9 is positive on the bottom, so you'll get a positive on the bottom, which gives us a negative, which means we are decreasing on this interval. For the second interval, when you plug in -1 to the derivative, you'll get negative on the top, and -1 squared minus 9 is negative, but you're taking it to the 2/3 power. So really what you have here is -1 squared minus 9 to the 2/3. And even though this part is negative, this 2 right here means you're squaring it. So it's going to turn it to positive, and you can check this on a calculator if you want. So that's going to be positive. Actually, the bottom's going to be positive no matter what because of this square. So this would be a negative over a positive, which is negative, decreasing. If you plug in 1, you'll get a positive over a positive, which is positive, increasing. And if you plug in 10, you'll also get a positive over a positive, which is positive, increasing. So this function is going from decreasing to decreasing to increasing to increasing, which means we have a relative minimum at 0, comma. Now to get the y value, you plug in 0 to the original function, which is right here. This would be over here for you. 0 squared minus 9, which is -9 to the 1/3. the cube root of negative 9 is just the cube root of negative 9. So that's our relative minimum. And that's it.